In this next example, I have a set of parentheses. So we're going to get to look at what happens when you're multiplying terms, but not the terms that are inside parentheses. My LCD, or lowest common denominator, between 9, 2, and 9, is going to be 18. So I'll multiply both sides of my equation by 18. This gives me 18/9 m plus 18/2. And on the other side, 18 is getting multiplied by the 2, making this a 36/9. And then the information in the parentheses, I'm just going to recopy. Now the reason why we don't multiply the 18 times the 3m and the 2 is because 3m and 2 are already going to get that 18 times bigger when the 36/9 distributes. So because we've already multiplied this by 18, if we multiplied these by 18 as well, they'd end up getting 18 squared times bigger. If that makes sense to you, great. If not, just remember the rule that 18 only gets, that the LCD only gets multiplied by terms that are not inside parentheses. Okay? Our second step is to reduce our fractions again. So that first one will become a 2m, the next one a 9. 36/9 reduces to 4, and I recopy the rest of the equation. Solving this, as I have in the previous sections, I'll use the distributive property to spread that out. I'll bring all my like terms to one side. I think this is the first time that I've moved the m's to a side where they end up being negative. I just wanted to show you that that works the same, that we could either move the 2m to the right side or the 12m to the left side. The answer will still come out the same. Subtracting 9 from both sides, I get negative 10m equals negative 17. Dividing by negative 10, my final answer is m equals 17/10. The check on this one is going to be just as tricky as it was on the problem before. So coming through, I still have the 1/9. It's getting multiplied by 17/10 in place of m, and then added to 1/2. On the other side, I have a 2/9, 3 being multiplied by 17/10, and then subtracting 2. So working just with the right side of my equation first and following order of operations, I'll do the multiplication first. In this step, I'm also going to raise my 1/2 to higher terms because I need the denominator of this fraction to turn into a 90 in order to be able to add it to my other fraction. So I'm multiplying the top and bottom of this fraction by 45. Now I'm able to add these two together, and I'll get 62/90. Since they're both even numbers, I know it will reduce by 2. It reduces to 31/45. Looking at the math on the other side, I've got a pair of parentheses here with multiplication and subtraction inside. So I'm going to just recopy the 2/9 and do this multiplication step first. 3 times 17 is 51/10. And just like over here, since I need a common denominator to be able to do the subtraction, I'm going to go ahead and change my 2 into 20/10 before I write it down. I'll do the subtraction inside the parentheses next. That leaves me with 31/10. And when I multiply this together, the 2 and the 10 will reduce, leaving me with 31/45. So this one checks out as well. In our final example, just because I thought you might want to see it a third time since this is a little tricky. We have a 3, a 2, and a 4 for our denominators. So our lowest common denominator is going to be 12. And this is where this second rule, making sure that we're multiplying each term, as long as it's not in parentheses, by our LCD. So when I go to multiply each term on the right side by 12, and each term on the, this is right, this is left, so the left side and the right side by 12, I need to multiply the 12 by the 4/3, by the 1/2, and I need to remember that this 2x is also a term with a fraction in it. It's the fraction 2/1. So that 12 needs to get multiplied by the 2x term as well. On the other side, I'm going to multiply the 12 by the 3. I'm skipping the 2x and the -1 terms because they're in parentheses. They'll get 12 times bigger when we distribute that 36. But I am still going to multiply the 1/4 by 12. 12 times 4 will give me 48 plus 12/2 x plus 24x. On the other side, I have 36, the 2x minus 1, all protected inside its parentheses, will just come down, and 12/4 is getting added. Reducing each of these to their lowest terms, I'll have a 16 plus 6x plus 24x is equal to, I'm going to go ahead and do some distributing while I'm at this too. 36, since they're all whole numbers. 36 times 2x gives me 72x. The 36 distributes onto the 1 as well, minus 36, and 12/4 will reduce to 3. First, I'm going to combine like terms on each side of my equation. So this side, the 16 comes down and is being added to 30x. On the other side, the 36 and 3 can be combined, so I have 72x minus 33. Collecting all my x terms on one side of the equation gives me 16 equals 42x minus 33. Bringing these over to the other side, it looks like I'm going to get 6 and 3 is 49 equals 42x. Carry this over here. We're going to run out of room for the check. Dividing both sides by 42, I'm left with x on the right, and this fractional answer will reduce to 7/6. I'm going to use a blank piece of paper from the back here to do the check so we don't run out of room. And looks like I need to save that for the next video.